By the way, my name is Joachim Müller, Professor for Agricultural Engineering, Hohenheim University. Pleasure for me to chair your session. Let's see if we get your posters. And we have now roughly 10 minutes for each of you, because one is missing, if not turning up the next minutes. So keep it short as planned. But anyhow, it's already on the video on your poster, but we have some time for discussion after that, which we will share equally. Yeah, nothing happens. I will look to the Tropentag webpage. Let me leave a bit if I can see something there. No. Funny. I will open the YouTube in parallel. Okay. Yep. Oh, that's not good. Now I have a duplicate. Yeah. We see now our video also on YouTube, but I have to stop it again. So YouTube is working. And I come back to you. Okay, something happens. We have Denisa.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. My name is Denisa Beňová from Czech University of Life Sciences, Prague, from Department of Sustainable Technologies. And today I would like to shortly introduce you my study entitled Regarding Environmental Issues, Are Inhabitants of Bandung Interested in Municipal Solid Waste Management? Well, let's see. So in introduction, there are some problems like in Indonesia, there are some problems like in any other developing countries. Increasing population, economic growth, and so on leads to unsustainable accumulation of municipal waste, which leads to the environment pollution, human health issues, and many other factors which decrease well-being of inhabitants. Also, the aspect of public perception and approach role on the municipal solid waste management plays essential role to make the municipal solid waste management sustainable in the city. Let's see the actual situation in Bandung. Here you can, on the pictures, you can see that there are dump sites alongside the streets, but also there are some attempts to make this situation better, but this is not well communicated to the public, so the public does not have any access to this information, so it's bad situation. So my study were conducted in Bandung in Indonesia. Here you can see where the Bandung lies, and which Bandung now faced economic and technology sphere development is really huge here, but it has some consequences mainly in waste accumulation. Primary data comes from structured questionnaire, and the methods were used convenience sampling and snowball method. The data analysis were analyzed by this basic descriptive statistics. Also, I set up two main factors as a willingness to pay for sufficient municipal solid waste management, which was analyzed through Pearson's chi-square test, and public interest in municipal solid waste management in connection to the environment issue, and to find factors which influence this interest. And it was analyzed through binary probit model. So here you can see what was covered in binary probit model. So the dependent variable was, as I said before, the public approach, public interest in municipal solid waste management, and some explanatory variables. Let's start with the results of willingness of inhabitants to pay for sufficient municipal solid waste management services in Bandung. So we can see from the table that age, education, and monthly income were strongly associated with willingness to pay. And it shows that the respondents with university education were tended to pay more, also with higher income were tended to pay more, and also with a higher age were tended to pay more for sufficient municipal solid waste services. Now let's see the results from the binary progress model. You can see from the table that locality, age, education, and satisfaction had influence on the respondents' interest in municipal solid waste management. And we can see that the more interested people were in Selatan district. Also, the younger and middle-aged people were interested more in older age category, and also that the people with primary and higher education were less interested in municipal solid waste than people with university degree. Also, the satisfaction plays significant role. Those who were satisfied with waste management services were more interested. So I can say in overall conclusion that the people in Bandung are interested in municipal solid waste management. And there are some factors that influence this fact, and they were investigated, but it needs really further investigation. So that's all for me. Attention, and if you have some question, don't hesitate to ask me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for presenting in your video. And we have time for a few questions. Do we have any available here from the colleagues, from the peers? Any question? I can think about. I go to the question page where I have put already for each of you a question, looking if some more came. No, just mine. But for Denisa, I had a question, what would be the proper municipal solid waste management in Bandung? Which technology would be preferable? I have seen that Christoph maybe is even answering this in this presentation. But anyhow, maybe, Denisa, you could give us an idea what you think, what would be a proper waste disposal for such areas like Bandung?
Okay, yeah, Christoph will definitely answer this question. But for me, it depends on the composition of waste. Let's see that in Indonesia and like all these developing countries, they have lots of biodegradable waste, which means it's not very good for let's say for the landfilling. And also nowadays they are using the plastic waste they are using the plastic products which make lots of plastic waste. They are now used to use like these small bags for everything, like for one piece of fruit or one piece of vegetable or whatever. So there is lots of biodegradable waste, and on the other hand there are lots of plastic waste, and the accumulation is really unsustainable here. So for the accumulation I would go for incinerator, because the plastic waste has huge calorific value, which can cover some even like make from the incineration waste to energy system. So from the incineration they could get some electricity, which could be very good for the city because they are lacking of some blackouts in electricity. And for the biodegradable waste I would go for maybe for the city would be better the biodigester. They can use the methane from it to cooking or whatever they want. On the other hand, firstly they should know the separating waste, because it's a huge problem here, and the communication of the waste separating from the government side is not well introduced. So let's say that some inhabitants even don't know what is organic and non-organic waste. But you can see all around the bins for organic and non-organic waste. But if you look inside the bin, there are no things that belong inside.
Okay,
So-
Denise, thank you. I see we could talk for hours about this topic.
Yeah.
But now we should
Yeah.
go to the next one and asking our
Okay.
admin to start
you.
our next video. Thank you. Maybe
Thank
we have
you.
time at the end to come back to
Okay.
this question. Okay. Let's have the next video, please. Oh, we have no from Christoph. Christoph, maybe you can share the screen.
Yes.
If maybe I have to allow you, let me see. No. No, I just can open my screen. Try to open your screen. It's the green icon in the bottom line.
So sorry. Chat. Why is not?
Hi, my name is Luciana.
Yep.
Yeah.
Something is moving. Okay.
We can see the presentation now.
I see a white plane only.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
I will try to do it like I don't know. Zoom. Screen. Share screen. Now?
Yeah. Fine. Perfect.
Okay. Great. So let's start.
Your microphone, we don't hear you.
Now
I hear you.
Yeah, you hear me, but you don't hear the video.
Yeah, we don't hear the video. So you have to talk. You have to talk yourself, huh?
Okay. So good morning, everyone. My name is Christoph Mares. I'm from the Czech.
Now we hear. Now we hear a little bit on low level. We hear the video. You have to increase the volume.
Okay. So sorry for that. It's all right.
No, the quality is low. I propose you take down the noise from the poster and you do it yourself now live.
Okay. So now I guess it will be okay. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Christoph Mares. I'm from Czech University of Life Science in Prague. I study Faculty of Tropical Agri-Sciences on the PhD. I will present to you my study analysis of the current situation and recommendation of appropriate waste treatment technologies in Bandung City, Indonesia. So for the introduction, worldwide it's well known that mostly used disposal is landfilling and worse open dumping. The Indonesia is not exception. In Indonesia, as the worldwide, it's mostly used landfills and open dumping. Bandung City is one of the most developed city in the Indonesia and is experiencing economic boom hand in hand with population growth. But on the other hand, the infrastructure of waste management is in terrible situation. We have approximately 1,600 tons of waste daily produced, and around 60% is only treated by landfilling. The rest is open burned and dumped in the rivers. So the city is in urgent situation and needs new strategies for waste management. So about the methodology, well, as Denisa, I had the Bandung district on Java Island. It's major city of West Java. It's a huge city, a huge municipality, and as I said, only 60% is treated of waste, and the huge problem is the rest, because waste dumped in the rivers came to the sea and to the ocean, so it's a global problem. And Indonesia is one of biggest producer of plastic waste globally, so problem of Bandung city is problem of well, of the world. In the methodology for primary data, I use questionnaire survey with the residents of Bandung city, then interviews, which was divided into 3 groups among the government, workers in the waste treatment facilities, and among Bandung's residents. Very important was observation and documentation of situation in the city and in the disposal sites. Also, the observation of waste banks and waste facilities in the city was necessary. Well, I use 4 data analysis methods, for each objective different. Descriptive statistics, qualitative and quantitative data, and multivariate probit model. Here in the table, we can see variables included in multivariate probit model. On the left side, we can see dependent variables, and on the right side, we can see explanatory variables to this model, which were used in this model. We will describe it a little bit more in the results. So the results. Although 80% of respondents do not have waste management services in their location, or it's really on the bad level, almost 100% of residents want the government to take care of waste management. From the interviews, it's seen that not just the situation across the city, like there are missing bins and containers, or there is a lack of waste management services. Still, there is a few places in the city, like waste bank or Bandung Resik Center. Sorry. But those facilities are like just to show people how it can work, but normally in the size of the city, it's so small facilities that they can't satisfy the whole city. Here we can see photos mainly from the Sarimukti landfill, which is the disposal site of the whole of the whole city, and also small cities across the Bandung. And the situation is really bad. It does not meet any sanitary landfill standards. We can see that the leachate is just collected through those holes. And the bottom on the right side, on the left side, we can see temporary waste station, which is like really disposal site in the middle of the city where the waste, all of the waste is collected, and then by those big vehicles is transported to the disposal site.
Hi, my name is Luciana.
So here are the results of multivariate probit model. Important are here are important variables as a usage of toilet sewage as a source of biogas, community-based participation in recycling and composting, and using waste as a source of material. And for example, in community-based participation in recycling and composting, here are important influencing factors: middle income, and 3R knowledge, which is knowledge of reduce, reuse, recycle. So, but the model of probit model is also in a multivariate probit model, and this table shows that the knowledge of one technology lead to familiarization with the other technologies which are similar to this. We can see on the using on landfill gas as a source of energy. It's connected with the using of toilet savages as a source for biodigester, which also produce the gas, in this case methane. So it's important the complexity of waste treatment technologies knowledge, because if the people know something about, for example, composting, they are more able to use, for example, biodigestion and use the biogas from this source. So for conclusion and recommendation, well, all in all, waste management in Bandung city is in inappropriate conditions. Well, in the city there are missing bins and containers. The city services are under financing. Disposal sites is does not meet international standards. On the other hand, residents of the Bandung city are really unsatisfied with waste management services, and well, big part of them are facing the problems daily, like they don't have the place where to put the waste, and also they at least some base of knowledge have. So they want, for example, a recycling center, but there is no possibility how to separate the waste because the government did not give them the chance to do at least something. Yeah, the possibility of waste separation is like, well, there is no possibility, and it's a problem because with no separation, we can't implement new technologies like composting or recycling of plastic waste. So the solution must be complexity. They should start with some kind of knowledge for the young people. Definitely, best way is to start with in kindergarten. It should show those children how to separate the waste, how to take care of the waste. Also, from the point of view, as Denisa said, there is a huge amount of organic waste. So in that way, we have to think about appropriate technology and definitely about the big amount of plastic. There should be, for me, I guess that one of the best solution is waste to energy. So incineration, because of accumulation of waste, because of production of electricity, and because of lowering the volume of waste produced daily in the Bandung, because Sarimukti landfill is oversized, overfilled, and there is no other solution than opening new landfills. So I guess that's all from me. Thank you for your attention. I'm sorry for this little bit problem with the presentation.
Okay, thank you very much, Christoph.
Ask question.
And please close your screen again, that it is open for the next presentations. And as we now lost some time and are behind schedule, I would propose that we discuss later. Yeah, we come back.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry.
And by the way, my question you have just answered by your conclusions. So,
yeah.
Okay, so for our admin, we would like to have the next video, please. Okay, this is from Luciana, I think. Okay.
Hi, my name is Luciana and I am a researcher from State University of Goiás, Brazil. This research aims to understand the challenges for expanding solar energy use in Brazil, mainly in the countryside, specifically in Goiás, in order to promote social, environmental, and economic development. The research analyzes public policies for rural development and the obstacles that prevent solar energy from becoming a main source of energy in the countryside. Goiás is a Brazilian Midwestern state that has most of its economy based on agribusiness. It's the 5th greatest dairy producer in Brazil, and this is an important project to the country because Brazil is the 5th greatest producer in the world. Most people working with dairy in Goiás are family farmers. 52% of the whole production comes from families' work. In 2017, more than 50,000 families produced 1,400 million liters of milk. However, dairy producers have been facing severe trouble due to poor performance of its energy company, Enel. Until 2017, a public company provided energy to all consumers in the state, but this company was privatized in 2017 after a lot of promises of increasing investment and making access easier and energy structure better. But Enel did not deliver the promised investments. On the contrary, there were staff cuts, many energy interruptions, instability, and huge delays in responding to consumers' demands. In 2018 and 19, farmers, especially dairy producers, made serious allegations about these problems and the consequences to those who depend on energy power to work and provide for their families. In 2018, consumers in Goiás had no energy power for 26 hours on average. This data considers both urban and countryside consumers. Some producers had at least 12 interruptions on the same day, which caused damage to equipment, to the animals, and made many liters of milk go to waste. Because of that, the state representatives formed a committee to investigate the claims. The conclusion came on December 2019 and made the government consider ending the contract and taking the company back. But due to the pandemic, the issue is now on hold. Even though these families live in a region with a great capacity for photovoltaic energy, they cannot avoid using traditional and non-renewable energy matrices, such as oil and hydroelectric, which were responsible for more than 80% of Brazilian potency in 2019, because access to solar panels are still too expensive in Brazil. The average cost of installing a non-grid energy system varies from 19,000 to almost 25,000 reais. Considering most dairy producers' income does not surpass 5,000 reais, the only viable alternative for installing such system is through public financing. In 2017, There was a program to make access to solar energy easier and cheaper. It actually showed good results at the time because Brazil faced an energy crisis and consumers made efforts to escape price variations. However, after the elections in October 2018, the program was discontinued and a new initiative was only proposed in July 2020. And even so, credit was suspended in late August. The lack of confidence on public policies make a lot of producers suspicious, and even though they want to abandon hydroelectric power, dairy producers unfortunately are still forced to maintain an unsustainable energy matrix because environment is hardly a priority in Brazil. Thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, it will be my pleasure to answer.
Thank you very much, Luciana, for this very
Thank
nice
you.
presentation.
I'm sorry I didn't edit the video to put the poster there because I thought the poster would be already in the meeting. So my mistake. Sorry, guys. But if you
okay, but
if you wish, I could share it now.
The more we have been listening
My
to
name
what
is
you are
Mwemezi
telling.
Ruiza from Tanzania.
Okay.
Oh.
So we have a few time for discussion, and all might think about questions. Maybe I start with one. We are working on solar cooling of milk in my group to make small-scale systems using PV technology. And so my question is, do you think, is there any knowledge available in your region, people who are able to match solar generators, let's say solar modules, with a cooling device?
Yeah, actually, I'm a lawyer in Brazil. Then I don't work with the cooling devices and stuff, so I have just little knowledge about that. And the solar panels, they're integrated with the whole system in the house and in the farm, so on. So they generate whatever energy we want here. The dairy producers already have their own systems. It's working, and the problem is the energy to power it. So we have problems still to be solved to make the technology works, any technology, because with no power, so we have nothing, right? And that's what's happening here. The producers have no way to make the equipment work, and as you know, it's hard to keep the cows and the animals comfortable when there's no way to take the milk from them, right?
Yeah, right. Okay. It's really a huge problem.
Yeah,
Okay,
we had a lot of milk wasted last year. Many people went to the house of to the assembly here, the representatives' house, to throw the milk there because it was already wasted. So it's a huge
protest.
problem in my state. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Thanks a lot. We have to switch to the next one. We have two more within this session, and I would like to ask our admin to load the next poster and video. It's coming.
My name is Mwemezi Ruiza from Tanzania. I worked with my colleague, Professor Matthias Kleinke from Germany, on a poster titled Sustainably Feeding Africa with a focus on wood burning technologies. I will take you through the introduction to the conclusions. Now we'll start with saying that people in sub-Saharan Africa depend much on wood-based materials as an energy source. However, wood burning is associated with many problems. Therefore, there is a need for improving wood burning technologies. So, in the present study, we examined the factors that influence adoption of improved wood burning stoves in Tanzania. And this is where the study was conducted and how it was done. Now, on the findings, the driver for wood stores adoption was not environmental, health, or economic benefits, but factors such as one's kitchen space, the level of education, cultural norms, food taste, and availability. These were important factors compared to the ones that we see in literature that are related to environmental conservation, the health benefits, and economic benefits. Furthermore, we found that there were technological aspects that influenced the use of improved wood stores, and these included, but are not limited to, lack of functionality, limited number of potholes, seating only posture, and others. Interestingly, we also found that women who are the major, I would say, major users of stoves in Africa were left out during the design process of the improved wood stoves. In conclusion, designers of improved wood burning technologies, not only in Africa, need to consider many aspects if these technologies have to be accepted in rural areas. By so saying, I say thank you so much for listening.
Thank you very much for your poster and your presentation. And maybe a short question from my side. What do you think about alternatives to wood combustion? Do you think that there are also alternatives?
For people living in rural areas in Tanzania and I would say probably across sub-Saharan Africa, there are not much options actually. They usually go for wood because that is the cheapest option, I would say, and they are not, technologically advanced. So options such as solar cooking, in some rural settings, yes, but the adoption of these other options are not quite immense compared to how people resort to wood burning technologies, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Maybe later on we can further discuss maybe even about biogas. But first we will listen to our last presenter, which is Marek. And I would like to ask the admin to start the video.
Good morning. I would like to present a research on the topic of criteria for assessment of different designs of small-scale biogas plants. As for the introduction, biogas not only provides fuel, but also carries potential to improve the living standards of rural households, as well as to reduce their environmental impact. However, there are various constraints and specific issues related to the use of different designs of biogas plants, and all of these may possibly result in reduction of those potential benefits. So therefore, the aim of this research was to develop a holistic assessment technique which would be based on 4 dimensions: technical, economic, social, and environmental, and their analysis would be based on chosen impact criteria. To achieve this aim, the methodology involves a systematic literature review and primary data collection in the target area, which will be performed by interviews, focus group discussions, and measurements. The methodology is based on sustainability assessment framework, which is used to develop a multi-criteria decision tool while integrating the already mentioned 4 dimensions. So therefore, the chosen impact criteria were selected in favor to capture the fundamental aspects of each dimensions and were based on their own relevance, reliability, and measurability. The selected criteria were for the technical dimension, the process efficiency, energy payback, operational reliability, for the social dimension, health and sanitation, impact to gender equality, and the perception of biogas plant use. The economic dimension, the total investment costs, and the payback period, and for the environmental, the life cycle analysis and global warming potential. So regarding some further steps in this research, there will be an actual multi-criteria decision analysis performed and based on the data collected in the target area, and the expected output, which is the decision-making tool, will be then available for the scientific community and implementers for use in practice. That would be all from me, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Marek, for preparing this poster. And now we have you also live here. And
Yes, thank you.
maybe a question from my side, which I also put in the system. Impressing your decision tool, but you also mentioned implementers, which are
Yeah.
typically not academians. And so that question is it simple enough that also implementers could use your decision support system?
We hope that the outcome will, or the output will be simple enough. It's not in the scope of the study, but it's not in the scope of the study because of the time limits. We're not sure how much time it would take, but we would like to prepare a model. So in this case, the implementers would just have to, let's say, set some inputs, and then they could get some information from the model.
Interesting. Yeah, I think biogas could connect all our presentations a bit. Biogas could be an option for Louisiana instead of PV, because these dairy farms also have manure from cattle, and maybe also biogas could be an option that they have locally available energy on the farm, and also for Tanzania. So biogas could be an option, maybe better than solar cookers, to work with biogas in the kitchens. There are developments. We have a very young scientist, Katrin Pitz, working in Ethiopia. She's making these biogas backpacks, so you can fill biogas 1 cubic meter in a large bag, and you can carry it home, for example. So there are really new developments. But now the floor is open. As long as they keep us here, as long as they don't switch off our session, you're welcome to discuss. Just unmute your microphone and just talk.
So I would like to apologize for being late to this session. because I have some problems with my computer. I'm using my phone.
Oh,
So
okay, but worked very well.
sometimes
We have a very clear picture. Yeah.
it's Chinese.
Also mine.
Everything comes from China.
Yeah, they improved a lot. They really improved a lot. Technology is now really reliable.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
my colleague asked me to let you know that biogas session is also following in the afternoon, not via the posters, but by oral presentations.
Okay, so all are invited also to look for the other biogas session and contribute there. Maybe there is still options to exchange here questions and answers by chat or so in the entire Tropentag system. So use this, frankly. And I thank you again very much for being here. Also our admin in the background for presenting all these nice videos. And I wish you much fun and new experiences in the Tropentag and all the best for your future. And maybe once we meet again. So see you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Have a nice
Bye-bye.
day.